For the elevated pigeon pose block crush, we're going to use a flat bench, or if you're at home and you don't have a flat bench, we can use something like the bed, just to have an elevated surface that we can place the leg up on. So what we're going to do is make sure that we keep a 90-degree angle on that front leg, right? So 90-degree angle on the knee. We're going to sit the hip down slightly, and then we're going to make sure that that knee is right in front of the hip. So we don't necessarily want the hip outside or inside of that knee, because we're going to lose tension in that spot in the outer glute. So making sure that our hips are square and that that knee is right in front of that hip on that side. Once we find that position, what we're going to do is we're going to sink so that the hip is at the same level as the knee, so we don't want to be up above it, we want to be down. And then we're going to slightly arch the back, keeping the hips square, and then allow yourself to hinge forward, and we should start to feel a pretty deep stretch on the back side of the hip. Once we kind of hit the end point of that stretch, we're going to place a yoga block right between the leg and our torso, and then when we're in that stretch position, we're going to lift the leg up, maintaining that same position, which should increase the stretch on the back side of the hip. And we're going to hold for the prescribed amount of time, allow it to relax, sink deeper into the stretch, and then repeat for the prescribed number of repetitions, okay? If it's difficult to be able to get into that position, what we can do is we can use a yoga block underneath the knee to allow for that kind of limited range of motion, just to put ourselves in a little bit more of a friendly position. So everything else stays the same. So 90-degree angle here, hip right in front of the knee. It just decreases the total amount of external rotation in the leg, which is fine as you progress. A little bit of extension kind of in the back and the pelvis. Rotate the hips forward, hinge over it, and then place that block there. Lift and squeeze, hold, allow it to relax, and then sink deeper into the stretch and repeat.